Hello everyone. I hope that you're all finding your way through this time in the world this summer, staying sane as you can and taking care of yourselves out there. I thought I would do a video just on what I've been reading and my plans of what I'm going to be reading through to the end of the summer here on the channel. I know some of you like to know that, so I thought I would do like kind of just a nice general video discussing that. I've really been able to read a lot this year, and I'm super thankful for that. It's helped me to reconnect with just worlds that I love and that mean so much to me. And so I would definitely say this experience has allowed me to reconnect or give myself permission to slow down and just enjoy those pleasures in life that are simple. So let's see. What else was I going to say about that? So these are non-witchy books. They're basic, I think they're all novels. I've got two, oh God, I just totally lost the name of them. They're not comics. Whatever, I'll think of them in a second. But yeah, they're basically all novels, and they're books that I'm either working through right now or that are on my list to read through before autumn. Now, as you guys know, I basically just said it is autumn now to me. I always get to that point in August where I'm just like, no, it's now, it's autumn, it's time, it's fall. I want to put all my Halloween decorations out, and I want to feel very witchy, and I want to be a goth Stevie Nicks, and that's it. That's what I'm going to do. So, that's what it is in my life. And let's get into the books. Okay, so these first two, one of my dear friends and I are doing a book club. And book clubs are awesome things. If you have friends online or, friends you can't see all the time and you're wanting to connect with them, like book clubs freaking rule. So we are doing this book for our book club, and I don't even know how I have lived my life without this book. I'm really enjoying it. I'm like, how had I not heard of this until she told me about it? It's called House of Leaves by Mark Danielowski. Oh, I'm so sorry. I know I butchered his name. Here it is. It's really unique. And this is the remastered full color edition, which I have been told it's worth it to invest in that one. It wasn't that expensive on Amazon. I think I paid $15 for it. So it's very, I'm not going to give anything away because I don't want to do that in case you're wanting to purchase it yourself. But it's so far amazing, and I'm really looking forward to discussing this with her and hearing her opinion and being able to share my opinion. It feels like kind of a very haunting story. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. I'm really enjoying reading that, and I can't wait to get even farther in the story. It just came in the mail 2 days ago. So the other book that we're kind of reading together, or she inspired me to read, is Charlotte Bronte's Villette. Yeah, I love Charlotte Bronte's work, and this one I honestly have not read yet, and so I'm looking forward to really being able to enjoy this kind of more in an adult mood. I really read a lot of the Bronte sisters when I was in my late teens, mid to late teens, and so I'm looking forward to approaching this with a fresh eye, more of an experienced eye, and enjoying what comes through in that. It looks really good, and I was super excited that when I ordered this was the cover, because guys, how me is that? That's like such a me cover, right? So graphic novel. That's what they're called, guys. Graphic novels. I remembered. Okay. So this came a little while ago. If you follow me on Insta, you saw that I posted this. So just going to story time a little bit here for a second, because that's basically what this video is, let's face it. So I am a huge Tori Amos fan. Many of you know that. I reference a lot of quotes from her music, and so far as doing personal work and examining wounds and choosing to heal, finding empowerment, expressing ourselves, allowing ourselves to be who we are, accepting ourselves. So in the Scarlet's Walk album, which is a very well-known album of hers, it's absolutely worth a listen if you haven't given it a listen. She talks, there's a song, I'm going to forget, I'm pretty sure it's, give me a minute, no, I can't, Heaven reads my glass apples. It's either Carbon or, not Crazy. Anyhow, in one of the songs on the Scarlet's Walk album, She references, "Get me Neil on the line, no I can't hold, have him read Snow Glass Apples, where nothing is what it seems." So she references this story, and then over time, I don't know if it was before or after that song, because so many Neil Gaiman fans are also Tori fans because they're both really close friends. So she had referenced Snow Glass Apples, and I was really intrigued by that reference. I love Neil Gaiman. Many of you know that. I mean, it's pretty cliche of me, but I do really love him. I love his work. I love the way that his words make me think. So when I heard that he had that there was a story for Snow Glass Apples, I think I had the audio book of it for a while. Really and enjoyed that story and hearing that. And so now he has it in a graphic novel with Colleen Doran. She did the artwork. And I don't know, I just enjoy it. It turns the Snow White story into, there is some nudity in this book. It is an adult graphic novel. So I'm just going to try to find something that's not overly, there isn't over. Yeah, it's so beautiful, guys. Like, I cannot even, look at this. Right? It's just stunning. And the story is enjoyable. The thing, I'm not a huge graphic novel fan, but when I find ones that I like, there's an image there, I really enjoy the way it has the ability to kind of take you away for a very brief span of time. And you have those beautiful illustrations to look at too. So, Snow Glass Apples, Neil Gaiman and Colleen Doran. This is beautiful. I'm so thankful I have it in my collection. The other graphic novel I've purchased is Blankets by Craig Thompson. Someone recommended this to me. I haven't read it yet, so this is on my list. Neil Gaiman commented, has a quote here. Let's see. So it's about someone who kind of heals from and leaves behind the religious cult that they grew, or religion, very strict religion they grew up in. And if any of you know my story, some of you who've been following me for a long time will know that's very close to my personal story, so they thought I would get a lot out of this. And so I purchased this. There's also some nudity in this as well, I should say, but they are adult graphic novels, but I know some of you don't love when I get the nudes out on YouTube. So anyhow, this is by, again, Craig Thompson, and the graphic novel is called Blankets. I'm looking forward to reading this. Okay, also on my list, I kind of went a little bit crazy. I went secondhand book shopping last month, maybe the month before. And yeah, went a little crazy because, I mean, how can you not go crazy when you go into secondhand bookstores, especially when they're in like big old barns and you could spend like days inside the barn looking at books. So one of the books that I want to reread this fall is Edith Wharton's The Age of Innocence. This, yeah, I think Edith Wharton is really powerful in the way that she really is able to express how contained that time period was and restrained, and what it feels like when like the passion of the inside being is pushing against this wall of societal restraint, and what happens when you can't express yourself freely. So her work always, there's like a deep sense of sadness, and then there's this restraint and passion play with her structure that I find actually kind of inspiring. So I really am looking forward to rereading The Age of Innocence. I know that's getting flashed out because of the sun coming through. Yeah, and isn't this a beautiful copy? I think I paid $9 for this, and it's a beautiful copy. I love when that happens and you get it something like that. So these two are also, I think these are the last ones on my list. Oh, yeah, I didn't go overboard on this list. These two were also secondhand bookstore finds. Many of you know that art is a huge part of my life. I mean, I'm a card reader. Tarot comes right into that. So, you know, obviously art matters to me. And I have been enjoying kind of exploring different facets and researching different artists who might not be my go-to artists to research. You know, sometimes, and I think about this especially in the political climate in the States right now, we get into a space where we're hearing what we believe, and it's like preaching to the choir, and we're not really getting information that can help us to grow or to think differently or express ourselves differently. So Caravaggio is not one of my all-time favorite artists. But I did pick up this book, The Man Who Became Caravaggio by Peter Robb, because I want to understand him as an artist a little bit more. And I want to glimpse into, you know, what someone's idea of his life was, and also what inspired him. So this is a gorgeous edition. This is a gorgeous copy. Like, I scored this for such a great price. And you can see that there are some reproductions in here too. So The Man Who Became Caravaggio is on my list of, like, help me to think outside of my own box. Now, the other book I got, I've really enjoyed reading. I am not Georgia O'Keeffe's artwork doesn't speak to me personally. However, I do understand the impact of her work at large. And she was married to and had quite an interesting union with Alfred Stieglitz. Now, Stieglitz is more why I picked up this book, and a little bit this is preaching to the choir, because I have a deep enjoyment of photography. I've been kind of growing in my own skills, as many of you know. I'm still working on my own deck and doing all of the photography myself now. So I've always found myself fascinated by Alfred Stieglitz. Edward Weston is another one who I really love his eye and find very inspiring. So I wanted to get to know, I wanted to see Stieglitz through the eye of a relationship. And I came across this book twice, and I was like, I've seen it twice, I must be meant to read this book. You know when that happens, like you keep seeing something? So this book is by Benita Eiler. I apologize if I misspell her name. The book is called O'Keeffe and Stieglitz, An American Romance. And I really, really enjoyed reading this. It's opened my eyes up in a lot of ways, and it's also, I don't know, sometimes like when you know the foibles of an individual, a personage you look up to, it kind of can endear them to you more. And I feel that for Stieglitz to a certain extent after, getting a little more insight into him as a person instead of just exploring his photography and his approach to his art form and what he really did for the art form by being in some ways a really big advocate. So O'Keeffe and Stieglitz, An American Romance. This is, I think, the last book that I brought up. Wow, I did really good. I'm only at 12 minutes, guys. So those are my summer non-witchy personal, just for me to go to the beach with my son, and if I'm picking up a book when I do that, to read at night before I go to bed. The House of Leaves is really, really taking me by surprise, and I'm really enjoying it. So if that's one you haven't read, and you tend to like unique, different literature, I think that's one you might really enjoy. I hope you are all doing well. I am thinking of you all, sending you much love in whatever corner of the world where you are, whatever is going on there for you. I am thinking of you and hoping you are feeling loved, cared for, and that you are not alone at this time. Much love, many blessings, guys. I will see you in the next video.